What if you could have a mixture of deep research agents that all work together to create a fully comprehensive report that doesn't rely just on one agent rather than on four in my case, to give you a different and unique perspective? So an aggregated version compares and analyzes and creates a final record based on the points on which those individual deep research agents agreed on and on which points they disagree, which in my opinion is super valuable. I want to know how those different LLMs agree, disagree, and generally just view the research topic I gave them. So they give me different angles and different perspectives so I can see from which angles they look at the issue and give me a final report. But enough talk, let me walk you through and then I show you what the end result is. First, this agent utilizes four. You could use more. In my case, I think four is fine. And then we use different models like Grok 4, DeepSeek, OpenAI, and Google Gemini. Then we do a couple steps of merging. And after the last merge, we start aggregating it. And then we pass it to another aggregating agent, or in this case, just an LLM node, which takes all four reports and aggregates it. As I said, analyzes those four individual reports to then see, okay, hey, Grok 4 disagreed on that, but Gemini agreed on that too. So you can judge for yourself on how valid, how the deep research report might be, right? It's like you go to your physician, you just usually, or I definitely want always a second opinion. So in this case, you get four different opinions from four different agents, and then a final report, which looks like a saved doc file in your Google Drive folder. So before I walk you through the steps, how I've built it, let's run it first so you can see what the result is. And then I walk you step by step through each and every node. Let's start with a chat and then type in what do I want to research the topic be. Let's say AI business use cases in 2025. Let's hit enter and watch the AI agent system, or those four different unique agents, Grok, DeepSeek, OpenAI, and Google Gemini, run through the web research, the deep research, and then generate each an individual research report before we then finally aggregate it to a final and comprehensive report from four different perspectives, which will make it way more valuable than just getting it from one agent. So this will take a minute until it's finished. Right back. Great, just finished it. So as you can see, it ran through all the agents and then saved it automatically as a doc file in Google Drive. Let's check out our new report. As you can see, we will have an aggregated version of where AI agents agree. So it summarizes it and compares the different agents where they agree and disagree. And that's what I usually like to have as a final report, which makes deep research way better than just having one perspective, right? So back in n8n, let me walk you through each and every step so you can recreate this too. So the chat trigger is simple, nothing fancy in here. Then to the agent. Let's check the agent. Just takes a chat input. And for the prompt, you scroll down, add option, system message, open the prompt. The prompt takes in our chat input. I use a Risen prompt framework. You can just stop the video and copy my prompt, or check out the link in the description below where I will share my prompts as well as the templates for you to download and start using this deep research agent amongst my other templates. Yeah, basically, you give it a role, instructions, each step you want it to take, the desired end goal you want or expect from the agent, as well as narrowing it down. So this is a nice prompt framework I really like to use. It's called Risen, check it out. So that's it for the agent. As you can see, generates an output, just the individual report of this agent number one. And for the model, I use OpenRouter. Create your credentials. Where do you get your credentials? Head over to OpenRouter, top up your account with maybe $5 or something like that. I just like OpenRouter because it's one API, access to multiple LLMs, which makes it way easier. For that, just head over to keys, create an API, name it whatever you want, copy, and head back to n8n. And for the search tool, I used Tavly. You can select whatever search tool you want. It could be SERP API or whatever tool. Same goes for Tavly. Head over to Tavly. You get 1,000 credit budget for free per month. So head over to the dashboard, copy key, and then set up your credentials. So for tool description, set automatically. I didn't do anything here. Search, query, it's all default. So no changes in here. And then you can query automatically by n8n agents or AI. So then to the next agent. Those next agents are basically just copies of the first agent. I just use the same prompt in each of them and then change just the model. In this case, DeepSeek R1. And this one just in an OpenAI model of your choice, and Gemini, whatever model you want to use. Same goes for the Tably model, right? Just name them each individual. So AI Research Agent 2, 3, and 4. And then we merge them in 2 pairs, right? So here you start, just get your merge node. This is just the default settings. I didn't change anything. Append number of inputs 2. And here is the same. It's again the same and just merges them 2. Now here is a little workaround I had to do. Since we can't run those 4 agents in parallel, which is a downside to n8n, we had to make the system wait. So this route or this branch waits until this merge branch finishes before it passes it to the last merge. Otherwise, it will run just those 2 agents, the first 2 agents, and will ignore running the other 2. And you will just have a report of 2 agents rather than 4. So for that, we make this node. It's basically just a if node, drag and drop. We make this node wait till this merge is finished. So you just get your merge, drag it in. As I said, you have to wait or tell it, okay, hey, the other output is not empty. As long as it's empty, you can't proceed at this step. And the same goes here. Just drag and drop this merge, previous merge node. And then in here, we again use a merge node. It's the same append and number of inputs 2, right? It takes 2 previous inputs in. And then here comes the aggregate. Basically, we use an aggregator. And the aggregate all item data into a single item list, put output field in data, and include, just select all fields. And then we pass it to the final agent, or it's actually a LLM node. And in here, we want it to aggregate it and analyze it. So it's just a model. You can select whatever model you want. And then the prompt is again a risen prompt framework. But now we take in all the 4 individual deep research reports, right? So agent 1, data 2, data 3, and data 4, or it's 4, yeah. So it's again the reason framework. We give it a role, and you are a highly skilled content synthesis comparative analysis agent, task agent, syllabus. And so stop the video, copy it, or check out the link in the description to my school community, as mentioned before. Then you give it some instructions with the different variables, right? Drag them all individually in. Then again, some steps, which steps you want it to take, perform pattern recognition, gap analysis, synthesize findings into a unified framework, and create a comprehensive meta-analysis report, which is what I wanted. Then the end goal and a narrowing down there. So, and last but not least, you connect your Google credentials. I already did that. There are more than 1 video out there you can check if you didn't check your credentials or don't know how to do this. You can also just open the docs and you will get a documentation on how to do that. Create file, create from text, which is the final aggregated output, right? Drag it in and such. File name, I just use report and then the now variable. So we have a timestamp on when it was created and then just save it in Google Drive. You can copy your URL or select it from the ID. I just used the URL for my Google Drive folder, paste it in, and it will output it as such. And as you can see, it generates the final report, which is just a workaround of what I did before. I usually had different tabs open, one Perplexity, OpenAI, Gemini, to do deep research, right? And then had to go through each and every report and find out the differences between them. But this agent in n8n does that just for you. Within 1 or 2 minutes, it took me to run, which saves you or your clients time and creates way more valuable final report. So I hope you like this one. If you want to learn more about AI agents and learn also how to write code with Cursor AI, check out my school community where I share all my past templates for you to download just the templates and just plug and play immediately rather than recreating it yourself. So see you next time.